Hi, I'm not James Hammond, but this is still Kagekid's Kitchen. Cue the intro.
Kagekid Creative presents Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen. Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen. Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen. Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen.
Hi, so as you guys know, I'm not James. I am not a trained, professional chef, but I am hosting this episode of Kagekid's Kitchen. But you guys still deserve to have a really good education, so I brought a trained professional chef. Brian, introduce yourself, say hi to the people.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Always?
Yeah, thanks Eddie. I'm Brian. I've been working as a chef for the past 10 years. I'm a manager of Jason Ramen. It's in Chinatown. We serve Japanese ramen with sushi and some other appetizers, all Japanese recipes. And yeah, today we're making a Japanese recipe. So here is Chicken Katsu. So one of the very old school kind of chicken cutlets over rice with crack sauce right on top, which goes super awesome.
So if you like crack, just kidding.
Yeah. Click subscribe. Like.
April Fools! So guys, usually you guys may not know this, but I'm the camera operator for Kagekid's Kitchen. As you may have guessed, I'm not a trained professional chef. But for today's episode, we wanted to switch things up for April Fools. James is behind camera, I'm hosting. But so that you guys still get your education in regards to cooking, I did bring a trained professional chef. Brian, tell yourself to the people.
Hi, what's up? Thanks Eddie, thanks for having me on the show.
100%.
Yeah, thanks James too for having me on the show. Happy to be here. My name is Brian. I'm a professional chef for the past 10 years. I manage a restaurant in Chinatown. It's called Jason Ramen. We serve traditional Japanese food. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Yeah.
Woo! So for this episode, we're gonna be making Chicken Katsu! So for you guys that don't know, Chicken Katsu, also known as panko chicken or torikatsu, is a Japanese dish of fried chicken made with panko breadcrumbs, which is also popular in Australia, Hawaii, London, California, and other areas of the world.
Where's Japan?
I don't know. This is Wikipedia's description of Chicken Katsu.
Edit that. Put Japan in it.
We definitely gotta put Japan in there.
Yeah.
For all the black people out there, this is just fried chicken.
How about the other people? That's fried chicken.
It is fried chicken for you.
Yeah, fried chicken for us though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. Well, on that note, let's get started. So to go with the chicken, we're gonna be actually doing a just standard rice dish. It's gonna be just regular rice, and then to top it,
That brown sauce.
that crack sauce.
That crack sauce.
That crack sauce.
Sauce for life.
Crack sauce.
Oh shit.
Let's get started. So for this part, I'll actually just transition over to the trained professional chef in the room. You know what I'm saying? Alright, tell me what we're doing, Brian.
Alright, so we have egg over here. We have flour and panko, which is some breadcrumbs. So the egg and the flour over here is to bind everything on these of these ingredients on the chicken. So when you fry it, it's gonna stay intact and then comes out crispy, right? So once again, panko, regular flour, and whisk the egg, yeah? So we want to whisk the egg and some extra, just a little bit salty taste with that soy sauce aroma. We'll just put a little dab of soy sauce into that egg and then we'll whisk it. Eddie, give me that chicken! Most important ingredient of the whole day of our dish is chicken. As you can see, it's seasoned.
Order just one more time before it.
Yeah.
Just so I'm understanding. We're doing chicken in the flour.
Yes, that's right.
Flour of the chicken inside of the egg with a little bit of soy sauce.
Yeah.
Right, and then that's gonna go inside of the panko crumbs, and that's gonna make everything happen, right?
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
so we're
where
good
the
to go.
magic is.
There we go. When you're doing this part of breading the chicken, right? You want to keep one dry hand and you want to keep one wet hand, right? So we start with the dry hand. You're going to be putting one of your breasts inside of the flour. You want to be really diligent with the flour. Make sure you get like all the corners, because you know if you miss with some of the panko crumbs, you get some of that flour inside of that batter. It starts making like good fried chicken. You know, you want to make sure you get that good stuff in between, right? So give it a couple whisks. You know, you want to pat it down. You want to treat it right. Take it on a date. You know, make sure you get her back home by 11. No, real gentlemanly stuff, right, Brian?
Yes,
I'm making sure I'm getting this all right because I'm the professional.
I'm in the back over here. They're saying massage the chicken.
Massage the chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to love on the chicken. I got you. All right, so once you finish up with the flour, we're gonna make it wet. You know what I'm saying? So we take our wet hand and we're gonna put that girl right in there. Give her a nice little egg bath, right? Right?
That's
in
right.
retrospect,
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have made my wet hand my watch hand. So watch comes off. And then once she's nice and soaked, right? Give her a little chance to drip off. You know, you don't want to make too much of a mess. So give her a little bit there. And then we're gonna go straight to the panko. The panko, we're just gonna dip her right there. Now, if you look at what I'm doing on the inside, I don't want to make too big of a mess with the egg. So I'm dipping the panko and then I'm kind of moving it and massaging it around. So now that we got all of that done, I can grab this panko side. And make sure you get like all the spots. Like don't be shy with no panko. You know, we got enough panko for every one of these little breasts over here. So just make sure you get her all covered up. You know, it's gonna make the chicken taste really good at the end. And when you're all said and done, I'm breaking the rule of like the wet hand, but she should look like this. Nice and breaded, beautiful.
Nicely cold.
Good coat of panko crumbs and everything. And Brian, I'll let you take over from here because I know you can take this hair a lot faster than I can. Cool. You know, I just wanted to show the people what a normal person looks like when they're making this. You know, not a pro.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Well, the more you practice, the more pro you get. That's just how it is. So Eddie here, what he's been doing is right on the track. Same thing. Bread crumb, if it gets wet, it's gonna all crumble up into circles, which when you hit the fryer, it's gonna harden up instead of making the chicken actually crispy, because the panko is not evenly spreaded. So we'll just dip this in, flip it over, go right in. Same motion, same concept. You wanna get that chicken fully coated. It is crucial because if you don't coat enough of that crumb, it's not gonna be enough crispy and you're gonna lose a lot of juices from the chicken while you're frying it and it's gonna come out real dry.
I didn't even know that. I was just told, listen, you wanna make that baby crispy. I'm saying you wanna keep it nice and fresh.
Yeah.
But now I learned that you losing juices out here. Whoa.
Yeah, you don't want.
Pause. Like you can't be losing juices out here. What are you doing out
Nobody likes dry chicken.
here? Nah, bro. Nobody likes dry. Well, I mean, some people like dried chicken, but we're not gonna put them on blast like that.
Not in Kage's kitchen, baby.
Never on Kage's
We don't like no dry chicken, baby.
What's that song from Marion's Distance? You know I like my women. That's how I like my chicken.
I'm done with you. Omarion, shout out to Omarion. So guys, while we're finishing up with the chicken, we actually just started cooking up the rice. We're making jasmine rice today to go with this dish. With jasmine rice, the typical like water to rice ratio you want to do is about 1.5 cups of water for every cup of rice. But we got professionals here, you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be doing things a little bit different, you know, those little pro tips. You can actually just keep the water level about 1 to 2 centimeters above the rice and you should be good to go. Wait for it to boil, then stick it on low heat and you're good. Let it like just cook up in there, do a soft magic, you know what I'm saying? The other thing we're gonna do is gonna be heating up the oil.
And pro tip for the chicken, after you bread it, it's better to leave it in the freezer for a good 2 to 5 minutes, just so that the egg and the breadcrumb are all stick together onto the chicken. If you do it, if you breadcrumb it and fry it, the breadcrumb is gonna go all over into the oil and then you're gonna lose the crunchy texture. So once you freeze it, you drop it in, everything sticks together and it fries perfectly. Here in front, we do have the sauce, which we're gonna be making in a bit right after we fry the cutlets. We have some syrup. You could use sugar, brown sugar, any sugar you like. Syrup gives it a more sticky texture, so it coats. Katsu or the rice, nonetheless, a little more texture. We have oyster sauce, a little base there. The most important ingredient within the whole sauce is Worcester sauce, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is like the body of the sauce. You got ketchup in there, sweetness, a little sour, and you have soy sauce for the saltiness. And that's gonna be the sauce that is gonna go with the tonkatsu. Yeah, chicken katsu. This is the part where we fry the chicken. So you want to open up the heat. We preheated the oil before. You want to keep it at 375 to 350. It's always best to keep it a little bit hotter because the chicken, once it goes in, it decreases the heat from the oil while it's frying. And then you want to leave it at 350 while it's cooking because you don't want to over fry the chicken and it's not good later. So we'll switch it to a low heat. You want to cut the chicken nice and even so they cook evenly, and you want to fry the chicken accordingly to the thickness. This is the kind of thickness we're gonna go for. It's gonna take around 5 minutes to fry. You lay it down. You want to hit the sizzle. You want to open it back to high heat. Why? You want to make sure that that oil stays at that 350 to that 375 in between, so it cooks perfectly and even. Yeah, once the chicken is in, you don't want to touch it. Just let it fry until you see that the edges start to go golden brown. Then you want to be careful because now you know that the outer side is start to color. Once it starts to color, then you want to make sure that you start to flip it so the other side is also getting cooked as well. The edges has started to color. We want to give that one flip and boom. So should be a little bit more oily on the flip because this is actually serving color. That means the oil heat is actually past 375, should be around 400. So right now it means that it starts coloring instead of cooking. So you want to jump back down on the oil, and then you want to make sure that now it's more of cooking process rather than to fry it. As you can see, once you freeze the cutlet, there's no panko or breadcrumbs on the side of the oil, which keeps the oil clean and light. So every single time when you fry the cutlet, it's golden brown.
So we just finished up making our rice. It came out absolutely amazing. Good jasmine rice, delicious, delicious. And we'll have that stuff ready to serve with the chicken. Okay, so chicken is fried to perfection. And Brian finessed the chicken, it looks beautiful.
Yes.
The rice is all cooked up, we did our thing. So the last thing we're gonna be doing right now, we're just gonna be making our sauce.
You could mix the sauce right away, or you could reheat the sauce. I like to reheat the sauce a little bit. It will kill away that little too much saltness in the end. Plus, when you're eating hot stuff, the sauce should be hot, so you get that sensation when you're eating hot food. It's just overwhelming. So the first thing you want to do, Eddie, you want to pour in that soy sauce. So we'll let it burn a little bit. So you want to make sure your pot is in medium heat, and then have a little bit of that syrup, and then we'll put the rest in. So we'll put the Worcester sauce.
This is Worcester sauce, right?
That's correct. We'll pour everything in. And then we'll go for that oyster sauce as well.
We get to use a spoon for this one, it's thick.
Yep.
Sarah and Carson would love this.
Not all, we'll go for half of it. Yeah, beautiful. A little scoop all of that.
Good.
Yeah, beautiful. And then we'll go for half of that as well.
Is this the ketchup?
Yeah, ketchup.
Nice. Oh, half.
Yep, another more. Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Cool.
And then now we'll give it a stir.
Yeah. Give it a little stir, give it a little stir.
Thank you. All you want to do is just get them evenly spread, and then so the flavor of the sauce is the same. And then now we can pour in the syrup. We want it to be a little touch of sweetness, but we don't want too much in there. Boss is gonna be a soy sauce honey glaze instead of a tonkatsu.
It's looking good, it's looking about right.
Yes, now it's all clear. You see, sauce is clean and texture is there. It's a little sticky, a little wet. So it could go with the katsu and coat the rice as well. Online, there's other seasonings. Some people would like to put garlic or some onion in there. We'll just keep it simple because we already seasoned our chicken. The sauce here is just to make the chicken's flavor even more tastier. Cool, so after cooking, this is the part where we're gonna plate the katsu, the chicken katsu bowl. And here we go.
Alright guys, so we are ready to eat. Joining us is the host and creator of our incredible show, James Kagekid. Woo! Let's dig in. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Yo.
That crunch.
No, a little touch of that sauce too.
You were saying something earlier about ASMR.
Yep.
Everybody listens to ASMR felt that crunch. Everybody.
Yep. We're not even using ASMR.
Welcome to the ASMR portion of Kagekid Creative. Listen for those crunches and those delicious sounds. Oh my god. So I've been wanting to ask you, last thing you running around back there, I learned a lot doing your job. What's something that you learned doing like what I do behind the camera?
I learned that it's actually harder to stay out of the shot of another camera than I thought it would be. Also learned that it's actually ridiculous to watch and maintain 3 cameras at the same time.
Multitasking be like.
Only because all of the cameras, I'm not fully aware with their settings and stuff like that. So there was like cameras that would randomly turn off like 3 minutes into the shoot for absolutely no reason. And I'm like, why?
I learned that this takes a lot of fucking energy. Oh my god. Like, I'm so tired right now. I was running back and forth. I'm like, keep my energy up. Stay happy for the camera. I'm like, wow, I'm tired. Like, you would see me take like a nap coming into this portion. I'm so high energy right now. I'm just running on adrenaline right now. Like, it's just adrenaline. For y'all that don't know, usually this part, I'll leave the cameras rolling and I'll take like my little nap because I feel like I was doing like so much work. I usually have like the gimbal cam, I'm doing like, all this stuff. Yeah, I'm on like straight adrenaline right now. I've been high energy since like the start of this. Yo, this is fish.
Yeah, we're Brian. Thank you for coming.
Yo,
This is a blessing.
it's just been a long day. When I'm eating, I was just like, I don't really talk much. It's a vibe, you know. You guys having me over, we cook. You know, I'm learning a little bit something about camera. So yeah, I know how to shoot now. You know, I know how to take some nice photos. Thanks to these OGs right here. Da da da. So it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. And hopefully you guys know how to make chicken katsu now.
Yeah.
Yo, I know how to make chicken katsu now. The sauce. It's the sauce for me.
It's the sauce for me too.
Sauce, that crack sauce, baby.
I like that little tidbit that you included about putting it into the freezer right beforehand.
Yeah.
Very helpful. I feel like that provided that like extra crunch that like was needed for the chicken because the crunch is beautiful.
I've never done that. Well, I've made this dish before. That's one of the reasons that I was really comfortable bringing it as the dish for like the episode I would be hosting. And yeah, I've never froze or like put it in the fridge.
Okay.
And damn, like it makes such a difference. Like it just makes it so good.
It's one of the key steps that was passed on from my teacher. So yeah, I got laid out for you guys, and yeah.
Where did you go to culinary school?
It was in Taiwan, so I mostly learned about Asian cuisines more, and then a little touch of Westernized.
Nice.
But since I was born in the States, I always had like influence from like Westernized cuisine.
That's amazing.
We're taking the Back to School series international.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're getting all types of flavors and stuff. That's dope.
That's what it's all about. Food is an international thing, you know?
Yep. Just like New York City, we have all the people around from all of the world. Why not the food? We can mix the food, right? We can mix the people all together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I was hungry because I'm literally scarfing this down. Brian, what are your plans for 2021? Do you have anything like?
I'm just happy I'm on the winning side
Hey.
with the COVID, you know. Just taking it at ease. And then day by day, you know, yeah, we'll power through. And then once everything is back to normal, then we'll see where life takes us. Yeah.
This is so bomb. I'm like just like, oh my god. And jasmine rice. It's so different texture-wise too. So James, I know you're heavily influenced by like Japanese food, like Asian like culture. When did that start? Like, let's take us back. Take us into the time.
As everybody knows, my name is Kage. That wasn't always the case. My name actually started out as Shadow, but when I went to high school, I learned that I was very heavily influenced by Japanese culture, and naturally people around me stopped calling me Shadow because they thought, you know, it was a race thing kind of situation, and they wanted to kind of throw like a cool spin on it. So everyone in my immediate circle kind of started calling me Kage, which kind of stuck. I was like the little shadow kid, so my name Kagekid came into fruition, and I started using it for my AIM name, my gamer tags.
Back to AIM.
Yeah. Into my gamer tags, anything that was a username Kagekid was it. Been like that literally since 9th grade. But I learned that I really like Japanese culture more so. I was always into anime, that's probably where it started.
Same.
And from there I learned that I really liked the culture in general. I learned that I really love the music. The music really touches my soul in a way that like no other music really touches my soul. But I learned that I also like the food. I was very fortunate to go to high school like 2 blocks away from like an Asian market where I was able to like eat like rice balls all the time. Different meals that they would serve like fresh literally every day. So like I would spend my little like $10 allowance and I would like, all right, once a week I'm gonna eat at this place. This is the best meal I'm ever gonna eat, and I was able to like learn the flavors there. That's where I learned I like things like pickled plum, the katsu sauce, even the stuff that we're like having now, just all those little variations of things that like I was never introduced to like at my own house.
Okay.
So ever since then, and even going into culinary school, I would always try to put my little Asian twist into things, to the point where my chef would be like, we don't know what those ingredients are, you can't be putting them inside of things over here. All right, chef, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to cook things in the best way I can. I'm sorry. So I've always been into Asian culture, into that kind of aspect, and it carries into a lot of the things that I do, honestly and truthfully.
No, same for me. I mean, I give a lot of credit to Toonami. Like those promos definitely messed me up as a kid. They were the best. They would just like tell you like space, the last frontier, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Be taking in like lo-fi hip hop music, which was really important to me, because I'd always loved hip hop, but it was very vulgar. So I had to find ways to like listen to it without like it being like frowned upon. And here come the Japanese taking hip hop and being like, you know what? Let's mix it with jazz. You know, like let's mess it up. Let's do something crazy with it. Excuse me. It's just so good. Oh my god, it's fun. But and then it went from there to again like you anime and like sneaking anime around my parents because they frowned upon anime, and that was always fun. I got in trouble once for watching Inuyasha. It was a big deal. It's too many naked people on Inuyasha for my parents' taste. But I learned to appreciate the human form, which was good.
For me, yeah, like Japanese rocks is also where I started.
Yeah.
You know, you got like the X Japan, right? You start out with
I had that CD.
Alice
and all
9.
CDs.
There's like Orange Range.
Range.
Jesus Christ. They came Orange Range. They came out with the Naruto hit.
The Naruto hit, they
blew
also
up.
came up with the Bleach hit
Oh,
asterisk.
that's
Ooh. Took it to Bleach.
Yep,
Yep.
it did.
Ooh.
You gotta run them.
Oh,
OGs,
speaking of
bro.
animes, this episode is brought to us by One Piece.
God,
Ichiro Oda, like
no.
he gave me a hit up. He was like, "Yo, you guys doing Kagekid's Kitchen? You got my boy Brian on there. Alright, we got you. We got this whole episode sponsored." Just kidding. We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by anything. Oh, yo, Oda, if you watching, Oda, yo, are you watching?
Yo, if Oda's watching Kagekid's
We
Kitchen,
love you.
Yeah.
like,
Let me go switch that straw hat. Like,
Yes, I got a meal that Luffy would not be able to resist. Okay, if you're watching it right now, like, yo, we got Sanji's homies in the flesh right here. Sanji's homies. I don't know if you noticed, but there's like barely any like food left because you know it was just like finessed.
yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Everybody's talking, eating. That's the
Yeah,
vibe.
that is definitely the vibe.
So, Eddie, final thoughts on the food.
Oh my god. Okay, that's my final thought. Like, oh my god. Like,
Brian, final thoughts on your own food. I know that's always...
It's cool. It's a very simple, basic dish. Came out crunchy. Sauce was right on spot. So yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, very happy. And I got help from both. So it's a whole gang pack kind of vibe. Yeah, Kage squad. Kage Squad. Yeah, we'll put it as that. Kage.
Hashtag Kage Squad.
Get that trending.
5 times fast.
Kage Squad. Yeah, that is hard.
I thought the food was incredible. It was really nice to see what it was like from the other side of the camera, to see like the cooking process and see how everything is done. Not as if I haven't worked in kitchens my entire life or anything like that, but also just to, you know, be a part of my own production and see it how from the other side, and then being excited to taste the food is honestly the chicken crunchy, on point, juicy on the inside, flavorful, so good. The rice, very delicious. It went very well with the chicken. As you can see, everything on my plate is gone.
What chicken katsu?
Yeah. And that sauce brings everything together. It's the perfect amount of savory and sweet, and it's just so good.
So that wraps this episode of Kagekid's Kitchen. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. But for everybody else,
It is fried chicken for us too. What are you talking about? It is fried chicken for us too.
and we're just gonna keep it on a regular like white rice. We're gonna keep it very, very simple for today.
That's correct.
You guys already know how to make rice because James has taught you like a million times. Rice puree. What else did we do? Other things. So yeah. So let's get started.
Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen.
Where is your Marion? Where are you? I got an icebox where my heart used to be. Where you at, Marion?
We gotta get Marion on Kage's Kitchen.
That's exactly what we have to do. 100%. Next
Marion,
episode.
if you're watching, we make chicken not dry just because of you.
Oh, just because we did it for you, Marion. We made the chicken for you.
Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen.
Gucci, no, we're gonna take Redbone to a whole nother
Camera
level.
to-
Like, Redbone to a whole nother
Last camera
level.
Oh,
shooting
yo.
in 5.
That's what makes America great again.
Oh.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I'm done with you.
2.
Hey, what's up? Wait.
You're good. You're rolling.
Oh, rolling? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
So this show works, James.
I'm happy.
At least for me, it works. I don't know if it works for everybody, but it definitely works for me. I was like, it is a rule. 7-Elevens ever again.
True.
I just want Japanese 7-Elevens. You give me Japanese 7-Elevens?
You only go to 7-Eleven in the States because you want beer or you got nothing else to eat.
You dead ass.
Period.
In Japan, that's a fucking meal, bro. Like, you might actually.
So you could live off 7-Eleven in Japan.
You really could. There's so much good food.
I basically did live off of
That's pretty much what I did. You see, like, well, no, I went to some nice restaurants.
Now, I
though.
also went to some nice restaurants, but I will say that I was there for 2 weeks, and 80% of my meals was probably from 7-Eleven, like quick stops along the way home, where I'm like, all right, I know I want to cook breakfast, I know I occasionally want to cook dinner, but I also want to try like everything that I see here
Yeah,
at
everything in
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven is good. In Japan, at least. I wouldn't recommend it in America. I don't know about all that, but
7-Eleven in America is amazing drunk food. And
Oh, yeah,
I
hands down.
Big pass of that.
Kagekid's Kitchen, Kagekid's Kitchen.
you know, adobo.
Adobo, yo.
Yo, like,
Adobo.
tell them, yo.
That's
Sit over here,
just-
sit over here, sit over here.
Yo, adobo is like the MSG for like the Spanish people.
Hell yeah, bro. That's our MSG right there. You better not take my adobo away.
Jesus, once you sprinkle that thing on top, that chicken tastes. Mwah. Oh,
Just don't buy
delicioso.
Goya. We don't buy Goya no more.
No buy Goya?
We don't buy Goya no more.
Okay.